Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a brilliant chess battle packed with tactics, strategy, and surprises. Let's dive right in. Wesley So plays d4, boldly seizes central square, signaling an aggressive opening and daring Jobava to respond to this early space grab. Baadur Jobava replies e6, a pragmatic French-like shield, preparing solidity and subtle counterplay against Wesley's central ambitions. Wesley So answers c4, pressures the center, builds a pawn duo, and invites tactical tensions on the d5 and b5 squares. Baadur Jobava plays b6, prepares bishop fianchetto to challenge white center. A flexible, sly, hypermodern reply with latent bite. Wesley So pushes e4, storms forward, completes the center triumvirate, threatening to dominate the board and open lines soon. Baadur Jobava develops b7, fianchettoed bishop eyes long diagonal, pressuring Wesley's center and adding latent tactical threats. Wesley So brings bd3, active bishop points at kingside. Readies for castling fights and sharp skirmishes in the middle game. Baadur Jobava responds bb4e, a provocative check, harassing white's setup and forcing king or piece commitment under pressure. Wesley So drops kf1a, king steps awkwardly but safely, keeping tense center intact and avoiding further immediate checks. Baadur Jobava retreats b7, bishop withdraws calmly to a solid post, masking earlier provocations and preparing normal development. Wesley So develops nc3, knight eyes central squares, supports d5 and e4, knitting white's forces for a coming assault. Baadur Jobava plays 6, shores up dark squares, solely defensive posture, while freeing pieces for eventual counterthrusts into the center. Wesley So plays nf3, natural development, connects defenders, eyes e5 and g5 and primes for kingside skirmishes. Baadur Jobava replaces nf6, mirrors development, challenges white's center, and eyes potential jumps into e4 or g4. Wesley So plays g3, prepares kingside fianchetto, fortifies squares, and grooms the king's shelter for future operations. Baadur Jobava castles o, secures king promptly, connects rooks, and signals he's ready to fight calmly in the center. Wesley So shifts kjt2, tucks king to safety and keeps rook active potential, anticipating mid-game fireworks with calm composure. But Baadur Jobava develops nbd7, reinforces center, prepares c5 or a5 breaks, positioning knight for future tactical roles. Wesley So plays qa2, queen joins the fray, supports e4 pawn and d5 plans, eyes tactical shots along e-file. Baadur Jobava strikes c5, challenges white's center directly, opening lines and forcing decisions about pawn structure and tension. Wesley So thrusts d5, a decisive central push, cranking up spatial pressure and seizing the initiative with thunderous intent. Baadur Jobava plays re8, rook to e-file, aligning with queen and king, ready to support central tension and potential e5 breaks. Wesley So moves are done. Rook centralizes behind pawn chain, increasing control on d-file and preparing tactical operations against black's setup. Baadur Jobava retreats b5. Bishop pulls back to defensive post, preparing to reinforce kingside and counter any d-file incursion. Wesley So captures dx6, pawn sacrifice or capture that pries open the center, forcing consequences and ripping the position wide open. Baadur Jobava recaptures fx6, opens his f-file, accepts structural cost, but gains active rook and dynamic chances from the center. Wesley So retreats bc2, bishop repositions to a safer diagonal, eyeing kingside and maintaining pressure while adapting to changed pawn structure. Baadur Jobava plays a6, a prophylactic push stopping knight or bishop incursions, also aiming to blunt white's queenside activity. Wesley So develops b4, bishop lengths aggressively, targets 7 and f5 squares, harmonizes pieces and eyes tactical motifs. Baadur Jobava answers qe7, queen centralizes, supports a5 and c5 squares, readies potential pressure along the 7th rank. Wesley So plays rd2, rook redeploys flexibly to support d-file and possibly swing to kingside, keeping options open. Baadur Jobava thrusts f5, knight jumps into advanced post, challenging white's center and aiming for tactical exchanges mid-board. Wesley So brings radone. Rook moves to done with intent to dominate open files and coordinate heavy pieces against black's king. Baadur Jobava replies 6, bishop centralizes, eyes important diagonals, and prepares to contest white's rooks and central control. Wesley So captures bx5, bishop takes the advanced knight, exchanging and cracking black's center with a precise tactical blow. Baadur Jobava recaptures dx5, pawn recapture opens center further, but hands white dynamic targets and a now exposed kingside. Wesley So retreats b4, bishop repositions to an active diagonal, threatening tactics and probing weaknesses around black's queenside. Baadur Jobava responds bx4, captures that bishop, forcing material simplification and shifting imbalance across the board. Wesley So retakes f4, knight captures back, recovers material parity, and plants a knight deep in black's camp. Baadur Jobava pushes b5, a sharp pawn thrust to gain space, chase away white pieces, and create queenside complications. Wesley So captures cxb5, pawn captures on b5, opening lines and tearing into black's newly advanced structure with appetite for chaos. Baadur Jobava recaptures xb5, pawn takes back, opening the a-file and leaving new pawn shapes ripe for tactical sparks. Wesley So captures qxb5, queen invades, snatches a pawn and penetrates black's camp, increasing pressure and threats on loose targets. Baadur Jobava plays c4, pawn storms forward, Pedestrian, blocks queen's path, creates passed pawn potential, and seeks counterplay on the queen side. Wesley So plays rc2, rook maneuvers to bolster the second rank, guard the queen, and prepare to contest open files. Baadur Jobava replies to sate, rook to sate, doubling presence on the c-file, contesting open files and aiming to trap white's queen. Wesley So plays b3, a solidifying pawn move, blunting black's c4 pawn and creating luft for minor pieces to breathe. Baadur Jobava shifts quake-bait, queen sidesteps to bait. Eyes diagonal and keeps pressure aligned with c4 advanced pawn. Wesley So captures q as bait, queen trades on bait, queen trades. Simplifying into a technical sequence while keeping material balance and active pieces. Baadur Jobava recaptures Reichsbeit, rook from 8 takes back. Centralizing rook and maintaining presence on the b-file after queen trade. Wesley So plays bxc4, pawn captures c4. Removes black's advanced pawn. Opens lines and creates a passer potential on c-file, detwarmding. Baadur Jobava responds knight knight jumps to e4 capturing. Hitting central squares and grabbing material with tactical intent. Wesley So replies knight c5, knight recaptures. Trades actively and opens lines, while transitioning into a sharp middle game melee. Baadur Jobava plays rb4, rook invades to b4, menacing white's queenside and hunting targets with reckless, swashbuckling intent. Wesley So moves nb2-2, knight retreats to b2. Repositions defensively, while eyeing future jumps to d3 or c4 for counterplay. Baadur Jobava shifts nc5, knight relocates to c5. Centralizing and aiming at b3 and d3. Pressuring white's weak, dark squares. Wesley So plays foul, pawn thrust to gain space and momentum. Blasting open lines toward black's king and freeing pieces. Baadur Jobava retreats b7, bishop repositions calmly. Readying defense and aiming to blunt white's kingside expansion. Wesley So plays nb d3, knight leaps to d3. Fortifies center. Blocks f5 square. And eyes tactical outposts to press the attack. Baadur Jobava slides rafur, rook invades deep on a4. Rummaging through white's camp and seeking to harass awkwardly placed pieces. Wesley So captures nxe5, knight takes on c5. Eliminating a key defender and swinging momentum, the board begins to crack open dramatically. Baadur Jobava recaptures r6f5, rook takes on c5. Returning material balance, while exposing black to potential tactical vulnerabilities. Wesley So plays a bone, rook to bone. Consolidates file control. Defends back rank and prepares to choke black's rooks. Baadur Jobava replies r8, rook slides to c8. Reoccupying the vital c-file and trying to wrest initiative back into his hands. Wesley So pushes c5, pawn storms to c5. Grabbing space and creating threats of a passed pawn and queenside breakthrough. Baadur Jobava plays g5, aggressive pawn thrust aiming to complicate kingside. Pry open files and create counter chances against Wesley's king. Wesley So advances chink's pawn, rockets to chicks. A powerful smash creating a dangerous passer and squeezing black's position like a vice. Baadur Jobava replies bd6, bishop comes to d6. Aiming to block pawn advance and hold critical central squares against the c-pawn. Wesley So maneuvers n7, knight leaps to d7, and white leaps to d7. An exultant outpost seated deep. Threatening forks and suffocating black's coordination. Baadur Jobava captures gs4, pawn takes on fowler. Opening lines and seeking tactical counterplay by removing white's advanced pawn structure. Wesley So plays nb6, knight jumps to b6. A heroic infiltration that eyes key squares and threatens decisive material or mating nets. Baadur Jobava pushes f3 kui, pawn storms to f3 with check. A desperate, sharp attempt to spark tactics and unsettle Wesley's king h1. Wesley So calmly plays kf2, king steps forward confidently, quelling the check and leaving Baadur's attack in tatters as white wins. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next one. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.